Cross your fingers. Hold on. What in the world? Can you guys hear me? Somebody put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Oh God, Emmy, I'm so sorry. Yes, you can hear me. Oh my God. Listen, Betty. Guess what you're gonna get. Buckle up, folks. This is a rare treat. This has not happened. Well, I take that back. One time this has happened. Today is the second time in history. You're gonna get Lisa doing some day drinking. God dang it. Oh, holy shit. Between my tech issues and being tits deep in Betty's legal bullshit, I'm gonna have myself a high noon. This is pineapple flavored. Yeah, I know it's only 2 o'clock on the East Coast. Suck it. I'm an adult, and if I want to drink in the daytime, I'm gonna drink in the daytime. It's good to be Lisa. Been so good to be Betty. But yeah, it's pretty good to be Lisa. And we'll see. I'm having one for sure. Woo! This is the garbage can. I swear I haven't even taken the first sip yet. Goodness. Thank you so much for those of you that came back after my myriad of technical difficulties that we all just experienced. I just traumatized all of you playing. Well, we kind of played a cross between charades and Wheel of Fortune. Would you like, Vanna? I'd like to buy a vowel. Hold on, let me get in case we need these sheets again. I may as well just keep them handy. Okay, so this was my first communication. If you were fortunate enough to not have been here to experience the giant technical debacle that I had for, at least the first 10 minutes. Emmy, headstones and headlines, bless her heart. She jumped on a private link to try and help me. She came on live to try and help me. Oh my God. And listen, I couldn't tell you how I fixed it. I just went back through and did all the stuff I did, 27,000 other times before I got it to work. I don't know what happened. Gina Diamond in the house. Hey, Kathy B. But, I'm an entertainer at heart. And I don't have a golden cup. Let's not get it twisted. But I do have a very lovely Swarovski crystal daytime drinking cup. And yes, PayPal Mal, she did copy me. I had these first before she had hers. Okay. Kind of like I had to show Betty that, bitch, nobody cares about your plastic acrylic crystal piece of shit bullhorn. Because I've had real crystals since the days of the BlackBerry. And yes, I did bring out my OG crystal BlackBerry. Don't ask me why I have it. I don't know. I thought maybe the Smithsonian might want it one day. But, because I am an entertainer and the one thing that will cause me anxiety besides these disgusting scumbag, dirtbag people we talk about, besides them, one thing that will give me anxiety is thinking that number one, being late, 30 seconds late. Like I can't. Everybody who knows me on any kind of level at all knows if I am late, I'm early. I'm that person, which is also not always great. It's, a couple minutes, no problem. But when I say I'm early, I'm not early like I'm that dick that's going to show up at your cocktail party, 30 minutes before everybody else gets there. No. I do not do things like that. And I would certainly be pissed if someone did that to me. So I don't do that to others. No, I'll go like drive around the block 87 times, or, typically what I do is find some place to go buy something. Yes, I can buy something from anywhere. So, in an effort to entertain the masses while we were trying to figure out just what in the hell was my malfunction, I still don't have an answer on that question for you. We played charades. Here was the first one. Yes, it was a big giant. Yeah. Buy a vowel, Vanna, please. And then we had our second one. This one I did a little bit of Pictionary along with it. This was the second one. I hope you can see that my little Cabbage Patch man here, I did draw an arrow up here because this is his caption. It says, better than BHB's hair. Oh boy, that must hurt when someone who can't draw a straight line with a ruler can still shade your hair. And last but not least, when I got to the point when I was pretty sure that Betty or Betty's dead hair is in my computer, it's like trying to, bitch, it's gonna take more than you and your busted up, oh God, Brillo pad. That's what her hair looks like. It's like a platinum Brillo pad. Copper. Yes, copper, because nobody could call anything about Betty. Platinum is probably, of the metals, I would say platinum is probably the most precious. And nobody's ever used the word precious or, well, I was going to say most, but yeah, we have used most, just not in that context when describing bets. So yeah, Betty, it's going to take more than your melted, broken up hair, and your jailhouse prison co-counsel. This is the point when I decided Betty was in the computer, that her dead, brittle, some of it's just straight up kind of like the time that I was cleaning the toilet bowl and I put the, the blue stuff that, oh God, don't drink it. Here's what you should never do. Don't ever put toilet bowl cleaner in the bowl and then spray around the toilet seat and other parts with bleach. Oh my goodness, it will make a science experiment. Much as I picture it was probably the chemical result when Betty's hair first started to melt off. That's kind of like the science experiment I did when I was cleaning. So Lysol toilet bowl cleaner in combination with Mr. Clean. Well, my God, that must be what Betty uses to do her foils. Oh, kids, I'm on a tear today, and I haven't even had the first sip of my daytime drinking beverage, which is High Noon Pineapple. Thanks for asking. Oh boy, this one's going to be fun. How's everybody doing? Y'all, so I am so very sorry for my screw up earlier. I still can't tell you what caused it. I'm just glad I got it fixed. And I've got, and I'm so sorry to have wasted anybody's time. Okay, I apologize for that. Chapped Butt Cheeks 01. Oh, that's a new one. Well, hi and bye. Okay. Do y'all see the size of this right here? What is that? About a JLR, what is that, honey? Is that about a third of an inch? Is that what you put that? Is that what you put that measurement at? Oh, what would you know? This is just a portion of Betty's of Queen Bees. The one real attorney at the cocktail party, okay? At the, pardon the bad pun, the one real attorney at the bar. Yes, this is just half of the offering. Oh, Betty, you are so fucked. Oh, God, and it couldn't have happened to a better bitch. And I didn't say bitter, I said better, but bitter works too. Oh, God. But first a word from our sponsor, High Noon. Buckle up, kids. This one could get bumpy. Okay, let me go back to the top of the class. So anybody that was here an hour ago when we were supposed to have started this party, and you've come back, thank you so very much. I absolutely appreciate you. And if you were here and you have a life to live and you were not able to come back, I thank you and I apologize at the same time. Okay, and anybody new like that funny name I just read out, the screen name, welcome. Y'all, in the interest of time, since I am an hour behind, I'm just going to roll down real fast, taking attendance, and I will read comments more in depth quite shortly. Betty's worn out bra. Also trying to offer mobile tech support. But of course, my notification was not working on that either. Kathy P, how you doing? Be still, hello. Amy, my other mobile tech support. Petunia Picklebutt, how are you? Glory, Gemini Mama, that's a new name, so welcome. Virginia, how are you, Virginia? It's nice to see you. Hey, Fit and Curvy. Hi, Sinner. Beverly. Mystery Murder Chic. Hello. Ooh, SoFlo Mama. Ooh, damn, girl, I love that. Is that avatar picture new? I think it is new. I just bought those same sunglasses, but with a pink lens, like a neon pink lens. Gina Diamond in the house. How you doing, girl? Hi, Branson girl. I think that's a new name. Welcome. Okie Crime News. How are you? Happy Thursday. Of course, my mouse is also not functioning as I would like it to. Hey, Social Fate. I haven't seen that name in a while. How are you? Hey, Mitten Mama. Chris. Come on, mouse. Let's get moving here. Hey, Platform Boots. Sassy Sinsberg. Xeno with fire. Mama the Gladiator. Oh, honey, you're not in the bushes now. You're out. You are out of those bushes. You have been outed. Fairy Dust Fairies, Candy Kitten. Still in leather. I saw that Burnt Toast was live. Now that's a rare treat because she rarely goes live during the week during the day. It's usually in the evening on Mondays. Today's what, Thursday? Look, I was like, oh, is today Monday? Wine, Crime, and Mayhem, how are you? Hi, True Texan. Oh, listen. The more amusing and entertaining I get, the more I'm like probably melting down inside. Listen, I live by the old secret deodorant commercial. I think it was secret. If it wasn't secret, it was ban. And I don't even think we make ban anymore. That motto being, never let them see you sweat. There's a whole lot of mofos on here that could take a cue from that. Hey, Jasmina D, how are you? We're moving along. Heather B. Beachy, did I say hi to you, girl? I think I did, but hi again. And there we go. Oh, chapped butt cheeks. YouTube duckery. Yes, we have sound. Running Bear, how are you? I did. Oh God. Well, that do tell, please. I love to hear shameless plugs about myself. Running Bear. I mean, well, that was very sweet. If Burnt Toast gave me, listen, even if she wanted to say that girl's a total bitch, I'll still take it. Hey Tia, how are you? Listen, Burnt Toast shouted me out back in the day when I had my first YouTube channel, and I can't tell you. Listen, y'all, all joking aside, I've said many times that I know there's a lot of people that think I'm Satan incarnate. I'm really not. I promise I'm not. I just say a lot of the shit that you guys want to say, and can't for whatever reason, or because you whatever. But anybody who has ever been good to me, I don't forget that, and I don't forget it ever. And basically, if you were good to me when you had no reason to be, you just did it because it was a nice, kind thing to do. Let me tell you something. Short of you going out and committing, a horrible mass event, we'll just say, I'm pretty much going to, I won't co-sign bad behavior, but what I always will do is I will always support the person. I may not support the behavior, but I'm not trying to blow my own horn. I'm just trying to point out a very sharp contrast I see between myself and a lot of people running around this place. I am a loyal person, and that doesn't just. I think that's it's just a spillover from my real life, because in my real life, I am loyal to a fault. I don't have a million friends because I don't collect people, and when I do call you a friend, you have to work very hard to make that not be the case. So. And Burnt Toast was definitely one of those people that absolutely did do, a shout out from her. And I had hundreds of subs in a day, and it was very much appreciated. It will always be appreciated. Okay, CK Warholia, how are you? Oh, did you like playing Pictionary, Wheel of Fortune, and charades all rolled into one? I can't draw worth a shit. Charades I've never played because, believe it or not, charades predates even this old broad. But I do have the entire Cards Against Humanity with all the expansion packs. So that's kind of like my charades. V Go Away, how are you? Oh, there goes that refresh. Jasmina D, how are you? Kathy clocked the house. Kathy, have you ever had to clock the face? Have you ever had to be Kathy clock a bitch in the face? Boy, there's a lot of people running around here that could make you want to do that. If you were like Betty, if you spoke with your hands instead of your mouth. I don't do that. I have the opposite problem. I'm a little tiny thing. Ladies don't fight. Like, I've never been in a fight ever. Now, that is not to say that there's probably, more than a couple people on a list somewhere scribbled on a napkin with an eyeliner that, may or may not want to whip my ass. But Sofa King Tight, can I tell you how many times in the last 24 hours I've been walking around my house just saying, oh my God, I've always wondered what in the do they sell furniture? Like what do they do? What does that name mean? I don't get it. I heard Queen Bee say yesterday, she was talking about Dixie Normus, and she said, you know what other name? It took me a while to catch on, or something along those lines. And she said, Sofa King Tight. So fucking, and I was like, here I thought you were just like a family-owned independent furniture store. And I swear to God, I'm not kidding. That's really what I thought. So maybe this gives you too much of a glimpse into my mind. Because honest to God, I have been walking around going, so fucking tight. So I can't believe it. You know, interesting thing about that, I am somebody that whenever there's words next to each other, and you know, it's like a play on, it tricks your brain, it tricks your eyes, it tricks your mouth. It's funny because I often see words that are close together when they're not a cute play on words like your screen name is, but I will see them that way. So it's weird because where some people see it the way your name means for it to, I see it with things that you're not meant to see that way. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But my God, my dog Bob, when I walk him, he's like, Mom, are we getting a new sofa? Am I going to be allowed to get on the new sofa? Try taking a dog for 10 years of its life and letting it get all over any furniture you want, and then buy a white cloud sofa sectional and try keeping that dog off. Yeah, it's let's just say that when I'm home, it's no problem. But my husband, being not such a good dad to the dog, well, you know, he lets much like YouTube where the inmates run the asylum, he lets the dog run the show, because he has told me no less than at least 100 times, honey, you're not even down the driveway and Bob's on the couch. You know that, right? And I'm like, what the hell do you let him? Why do you let him? Well, he doesn't listen. Like, well, try, damn it. And the only reason I won't let him on there is because he's always had OCD. He licks his paws. It's not yeast. It's not anything. The vet has tried everything. It's nothing. He's got OCD. And oh God, it's just gross when they. So you're on a treadmill, Sofa King? Well, if I've done anything right, you've at least come pretty damn close to falling off. And true story, I have a family member who actually, it's not funny, she really could have been hurt. Somebody left the setting. I don't know if the setting malfunctioned or what, but that could have been a really bad situation at the gym. Hi, lost mother of one, Lisa Oldham's. What was that I was saying about I'm just going to run right down the attendance and I'm not going to read the comments. I'm just going to say hi. Hell, y'all, we're so far off the damn schedule. What difference does it make? We're going to the Starbucks, and the Starbucks we're going to, well, sorry, kids, they have a gift shop. And you know, exit through the gift shop. Boy, that should be my motto. Exit through. I'm that person who can spend $200 at the gas station in the desert in Las Vegas on the way to the Grand Canyon. Yes, I did. And I've got tchotchkes around my office to prove it. Oh my gosh, you know what? Look, I'll show you one just for shits and giggles. Look, here's one of my gas station purchases. See, this is so me. Like, it's just two little, like, I'm sure crying, drunken. This is the pool party at, Caesar's Palace. I don't know. I never stay at Caesar's. I stay at the Venetian, which I love. Best rooms besides the Bellagio in Vegas. Daddy's baby girl, how you doing? I see you drool. Hi, Kashmir. How are you? Oh, YouTube Dunkery. I don't listen. I don't, even though I probably should, I never take anything down. I don't delete anything. I leave all the shame up. Okay, we're getting close. Oh, Sofa King Time wants me to say hi to Betty. Hey, Betty, how you doing? Oh. Olivia, girl, honey, don't you have any happy hours to go to? I mean, I know you've got your what do they call it? The hookup app. What's that thing called? Tinder. Sweetie, don't you have some Tinder dates to go to? I mean, Pumpkin, girl, trust me on this. You're going to miss out on your best years when you should be well, I didn't have Tinder, so I think it's right. You should be swiping right, Pumpkin, and you should be dancing on top of bars, okay? Not for a job, but for fun. Girl, that's what you should be doing. Instead, you're driving around the country in some old fucking beater car with a beater bitch. Beater as in, her this is, girl, Olivia, go find some friends your own age, sweet pea. Like, trust me, before you know it, you're going to be me, okay? Of course, I'm your aforementioned beater friend in the beater car that you're rolling around in. I am 10 years older than her, so clearly I did something right in this life. But yeah, Olivia, go find some friends your own age. Go to a happy hour. God, you have a mother. What do you want to run around with that nasty old hag for? Olivia, I don't even know you. You're gorgeous. You are gorgeous, okay? You can, much like the Reverend Feller has found a way to grift using the Holy Bible. But now that is a proposition as old as time. Okay, that has been going on from time immemorial. Memoriam. So yeah, one of those. But you can also find a way to mix, TNA shots with fundraising. Or, what's your job this week? You're tragedy pimping? Well, girl, you're definitely the best looking of all of them. But Olivia, please, I beg you, go find some friends your own age. And like, if I was your mom, I would take offense that some like weird, gross, nasty bitch from the internet is calling. Wait, you call her mom, she calls your mom, but all of you have your own moms? Like, although I don't know if I acted like Betty, my mom wouldn't probably. I know I wouldn't. It would not even be a thought, because my mom would come and cut my internet cable, and if necessary, she would burn my house to the ground, whatever it took. I mean, yeah, no, that would not be acceptable. Nice girls don't run around with Betty, Olivia. And I mean, I don't know if you're a nice girl or not, but nice girls who, even bad girls who want to appear to be nice girls, but you still don't want to run around with Betty, because my God, if she's not a harbinger of, Olivia, you don't want to do things Betty's way. I mean, do it Frank Sinatra's way if you've got to, but don't do it Betty's way, for Christ's sake. Look at her. I mean, go find playmates your own age. And mentally, Betty's not even your age. So BJ Marshall. Hi, how are you? I think is that a new name? I'm not sure if it is or not. Well, welcome if it is. If not, welcome back. Jane says, hi, how are you? You don't see Gina Diamond? I saw Gina Diamond. Hi, Grandma Sherry. Grandma Sherry, you are actually in my hit parade. This is my dossier of dastardly, not you. It's usually if you make it in here, it's because you're either really good or you're Betty. Hi, Cambry. Stereophonics mom. All right, kids, we're almost to the bottom. Hey, mom there. I'm back. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Oh, it's gonna refresh. Yep. I'm going. Hey, Stargazer. Hey, that girl. I'm scrolling as fast as I can. Hi, Kara. Oh, yes, you like my highlighter? Well, thank you so much. This is how my husband kisses me when he leaves. And since I've since I have resurrected my YouTube channel from the pile of ash before, now he's just like, because he's like, honey, I look like a friggin' disco ball when I go into the office. I took my car in to get serviced, and I was talking to the service tech, and he was just kind of, we knew the guy outside of, he sold me the car, but anyway, he goes, yeah, usually when I get a car, he wasn't the service guy. He doesn't do service. It was the people that I bought it from, and I had to take it back in for something. And he said, yeah, usually when I either take a car in on trade or when we, go to the auction, usually when we get a car that's got glitter everywhere, well, apparently he thinks that's indicative of some type of employment. I'm like, what the? I said, are you kidding me? What? Like, why do you think that just strippers wear glitter? No, I'm sorry. Now, if you see a pair of damn lucite platforms with a goldfish swimming around in the sole, well, then, maybe we'd have something more to talk about. Do not be glitter shaming me, sir. It's me, Amberly. How are you? Hi, AMAC. Oh my God, that one I was on my way to Skyrim, and it's one of the chains out in Nevada. My God, the poor people that were behind me were like, has this bitch never been in a store before? It's like, Marv, I just needed to get some scratch off lotto tickets and use the bathroom. And you take me to the one place where, this lady thinks she's in a department store. That was me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Would you like a Las Vegas commemorative shot glass? I'm buying 18 other ones. Throw one in for them. They're in a big hurry. I've held them up. Gift with purchase. Okay, it's on me. Oh, hi, Micah. Jenny D. Oh, Gemini Mama. You used your Juvederm gift cards? I have 8 of them to you. And that was only because I didn't want to get any more burner numbers. Hell, I had to break out a damn notebook just to write down all my, okay, let's see. On this email, your name is, your phone number is, your password is. My husband's like, honey, I can just put a password vault on there. I'm like, yes, dear, I know. Stop password shaming me. Okay. All right, kids. I think truth hurts. How are you, Denise? All right. We're gonna get rolling. Otherwise, we're spending the night here. I know that I'm scrolling really, really fast. Blank Slate, how are you? Liza, welcome. JP, how are you? Okay, I'm at the end. All right. Anybody I missed, I am so sorry, and I will catch you at some point. I promise. Okay, first things first. Oh, Betty. I was watching my, well, I think I mentioned that Jason and I, Momoa, my movie husband, we're in counseling right now. We're going to try and keep this marriage together. I'm still texting with Ross Poldark. I didn't tell Jason, but what he doesn't know won't hurt him. And as I was binging Ross Poldark, God, I'm going to be really sad. I'm on season 4, and there's only 5. But as I was watching my possibly soon to be next ex-husband, Ross Poldark, an expression, I heard an expression, and oh, Grandma Sherry, are you an Aquaman fan? See, I haven't seen Aquaman. I was OG. Listen, from back in the day when he was Khal Drogo on Game of Thrones, I was like, holy shit, who is the dude in the damn loincloth that doesn't know how to speak? Sign me up. Woo! But I heard an expression as I was having dinner with Ross and Demelza the other night. And I thought, my goodness, Betty, this could be your, there's you need a lot of words to live by, phrases to live by, hairdresser being one. But this phrase, you don't hear it very often, but it had Betty written all over it. And that is this. And they didn't say the phrase. The guy used it because it would have been part of the vernacular back in whatever year that's supposed to be in. I don't even know. Before electricity, before cars, whenever that was. And that expression that was used in the proper context, basically it was someone, here's the expression. Keep your powder dry. Hey, Burnt Toast. I heard that you did me a solid. I don't know what it was, but I thank you kindly. Hey, Brianna. Put a 1 in the chat. God, I hate that douchey expression. I put a lipstick emoji in the chat. Oh, did y'all like my thumbnail? When I was here before, when we had the epic, when Betty was in my computer, I saw that someone said, oh my gosh, I just noticed those are clumps of hair. You guys, I didn't spend as long on that thumbnail. Well, not that long at all. As I did on the fish riding the bike, but I was rather proud of that. So yes, please, if you did not notice, it's kind of like a Where's Waldo thumbnail. Don't get distracted by the tools in the back in the thumbnail that Betty can't use, like scissors, hair dryer, comb. Oh God, especially don't ever use a comb. So yes, how many know what keep your powder dry means? that is a very old expression. And the way it was used when I was, hanging out with Ross, I sent Demelza to go get us some it's like, bitch, go turn some butter, okay? Ross and I are trying to have a conversation here. And I don't need you like hanging out. You're like, girl, you're raining on my parade. Go. So yeah, when I sent Demelza to go churn butter, one of the characters, well, he was having a moment. And much like Betty, the world was just looming large. He also had a legal problem, although his legal problem could have resulted in the gallows. It's too bad we can't do that here. But he let's just say that he was despairing. All hope was lost, and he was going to unalive himself. And he had a musket. And back then, now, much like, well, I'm not an armorer, okay? I know that a musket involves gunpowder and like a little round steel, like a ball, which is, I guess, kind of like the parent of the modern day shell. And fortunately, he like Betty, it was an epic fail. And his friend said to him, because he was getting ready to, go about his life, and he's like, now, do I have to worry about you? Do I have to worry that when I go down to the bar, you're not gonna try this again, are you? And he said, well, that I cannot, even if I wanted to, that I can't do anything until I get some dry powder, which brought to mind, keep your powder dry, meaning, Betty, don't count your motions before the judge rules. Oh my God. So, as I said when we started, this is approximately half of the responses to the motions. And, clearly we're not going to be able to go over all of these in one sitting. I wasn't even going to try. There's just a couple of little highlights I would really like to point out. The first being this. And Burnt Toast, I was watching you before I came in here the first time, and I think it just so happens that what you were going over was one that I have not been able to redact yet. So hopefully that works out just perfectly, and I'm not doing a repeat. But what I thought would be just a lot of fun to do, because here's what I'm getting at. We have all met Betty's co-counsel, her shadow counsel, her one of America's most litigious, vexatious litigants, that being JLR. But even JLR, although a million times smarter than Betty, but let's face it, I mean, this rubber duck is a million times smarter than Betty. So my goodness, we all saw quite a stark contrast between Betty's first offering her complaint that looked like, this duck hired his friend, the big yellow one that's in my guest bathroom. Just, it's a joke. I got it at Bath and Body Works 1,000 years ago. I was like, oh, isn't that cute? And you would never think when you go in that bathroom, because it's very serious looking. It's all done in dark wallpaper. I have a beautiful like piece of textural, what do you call that? It's not a painting, but it's like, it's a very tall piece of art directly behind the toilet. And it looks very medieval. It's very steampunk looking. But that's a guest bathroom. So if you're a guest and you go in there, when you pull back the shower curtain, this big ass rubber duck is in there. Just, just picture if that duck, that big yellow duck is to this bald. Well, I mean, this duck's cute, but it's bald. Kind of like Betty's going to be before this is done. Just picture if this is Betty and the yellow duck is JLR. So her first offering, which honest to God, I'm not shading her because, I mean, come on. It's all a gift, much like the hair. But that was, I'm gonna be charitable, and I'm gonna say that was a high school kid that wrote that. But most high school kids in this day and age, they're far more fluent and have met the parts of speech, punctuation, they know grammar, unlike Betty. So it was a very stark contrast between her first offering and then her last motion dump of, I think it was seven filings. And even Queen Bee's lawyer in one of these aforementioned documents, well, my goodness, he noticed the change too. I mean, we went from high school level writing and understanding. Yes, I very much love that expression. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. And oh boy, does he take, oh yes, he takes quite he has got Betty figured out, okay? And that's part of his job, is to figure out the opponent. And Betty, girl, go look up that old deodorant commercial, whether it was secret or banned, we can't remember. Never let him see you sweat. Well, you never let him see you dry. I mean, and you should keep your powder dry, Betty, because, honey, I don't know how to say you're fucked in legalese, but you're fucked. And you can get your rubber duck Jonathan. You can dial a lawyer, phone a friend, or you don't have any friends. I don't know, belly up to a Betty, honey, you should have kept your powder dry, because you're the one who sent out the invitation for this party. You started this soiree. And oh, I have said all along that Betty's lawyer, or Queen Bee's lawyer, Betty is her own lawyer. Betty's lawyer is the we. It's part of the we, back there, up here. Queen Bee has a very fine lawyer, and I don't need to know the man to know that. I'm not Betty. I don't claim to be a legal expert. I do claim to have a legal education, because I do. But listen, I couldn't even make heads or tails of half of JLR's bullshit that I'm sure was just copied and pasted from some other, suit. I mean, any monkey can copy and paste. That's not. But this lawyer, he's got you, pumpkin. And he's going to know he's already shaded you multiple times in these motions. There's, y'all, how many pages was this? All right, one motion or one answer to a motion, and then maybe a counter motion. I want to say, all in all, I know for certain it is in excess of 125 pages. My husband was like, what the hell are you printing? Because his office is on the other side of the house, but all the printers, all the separate computers, all go to his printer. I don't want a printer in here. I can't. And listen, the last 2 times I had to do documents, it was the 2 of 2 times that printer has ever malfunctioned. Like, Betty, are you in my printer, girl? So I decided to do it a little differently. Last time, I think, Betty has a tendency of doing this to people. I think I overwhelmed the poor printer, because what I did the last time was just take every attachment and print, and they were all supposed to be in the queue and just rolling them out. But this time I was like, no, we're not going to do it that way. So I printed the first one, which was very small. And then I said, okay, now we're going to go for the gusto. We're going to print the one that's 49 pages. So I hit print. I waited, a couple minutes. And then can you hear the Mission Impossible music? Do, 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 do. And yes, I was wearing all black. And I just wanted to hear, is it still on? So my husband's, of course, sitting back at his desk, he's got a TV in there. Let me tell you something. He's got a TV in his office that is so huge. It's like a damn IMAX movie. I can't even look at it when I go in there because it's too big for the room. And it makes me I get vertigo. So he's sitting back, and he's like, what the hell are you printing? I said, now that's Betty single-handedly destroying the damn Amazonian rainforest. I said, just put it on the list of another reason to hate that bitch. Except, we don't hate her. But Queen Bee, I half of them I have redacted. I never had any intention of coming in here and we're going to get through all these documents. Are you shitting me? I would need all of this life, all of the rest of your life, and a few reincarnated lives yet to be lived to get through all of this. But to say that I did read it all. That is not to say that I understood all of it. I understood enough to talk about it. And I can tell you this. Oh boy. Queen Bee's lawyer got several very well executed legal shove that up your ass. Yes, he did. He shaded her real good. More than once. But I thought a fun place to start off would be here. And Grandma Sherry, I was going to talk about you first. I'm not monetized. And what I was planning on doing was running your Cash App in a banner. But I kind of felt like I probably should ask you if that's okay before I do that. If you're good with that, just let me know. If so, I will, the next time I go live over the weekend, I would love to do that. Running Bear, he's a fantastic lawyer. Fantastic. I can tell you this guy knows his shit, okay? And much as I said from the very beginning, my hope is that before this is done, he will be paying Queen Bee because he's going to want to see her go down in flames so bad, and he's going to do everything he can to make that happen. Because I promise you, he sees her for exactly what she is. And real legal professionals, fuck Betty, real legal professionals, they don't like shit like this. Because it makes a mockery of our legal system. It makes a mockery of the time and the money it has cost them to become. Because let's not forget, 4 years of college, 3 years of law school. You can actually do 4 years of law school if you want to do a real, like, a subspecialty, because I know someone who did that in international tax law. And then just because you've gone through all that, that doesn't mean you're going to pass the bar. And there are I don't know anyone who sat for the bar who did not take the prep material, tests, etc., YouTube stuff. Hey, Johnson. So that's just another reason that it makes a mockery of all that. It clogs the dockets for people who really need to have their cases heard, because it's dirtbags like Betty that help clog up the system with frivolous bullshit. So there was something else. Oh, I sent Queen Bee an email yesterday, and I said, girl, I'm sitting on my couch. I thought you'd get a kick out of tonight, instead of my usual routine of reading my Kindle before I go to bed. I've got your 9,785 motions I'm going to be reading, and I'm just going through it now. And my 2 of my cats and the dog are very concerned something is wrong with me, because I'm just like, oh my God, yes, fuck you, Betty. And I said, I'm thinking that Vegas, OTB, off-track betting, I'm thinking we are getting to the point where they're probably going to start laying odds on how long it's going to take her to wave the white flag of capitulation. Because Betty, you should have kept your powder dry, babe. This was a fool's errand. And should any of you doubt that, which, let's face it, if you're here, you don't doubt that, I thought a good place to just really drive that home would be, here's what I've been able to get through. All of what I am holding is redacted. I was, like I said, ABBA. If y'all ever get back together, forget the dancing queen. I'm the redacting queen. And I do it old school. Listen, I'm not real tech savvy, as my last attempted live stream should have driven home for all of you. And I don't know how to get the little pen that you use it on the document online. It looks like yellow tape. I don't know how to do any of that shit. Kind of like Betty. I like paper, but just for shit like this. So what I can tell you is that one of the motions that was just filed, anytime a lawsuit commences, each side does interrogatories. Now, interrogatories is nothing more than a fancy legal word for questions. I can't remember what we said the last time, but way back in the Stone Age, before the internet, we did have cars and we did have electricity. We didn't have the internet yet, though. You had, I think it was each side, there were like 20, let's say there was 20 to 25 standard interrogatories, which is basically you send them to me, I send them to you. It's just information that each side discloses to the other. And then depending on what kind of case it is, then you get a certain number of custom interrogatories. Well, something that I thought would really drive this home while not having to, just for those of you out there that haven't seen it, that don't care about reading it because you don't have legal knowledge. So, I don't want to sit around reading, vacuum cleaner repair manuals or how to do an oil change. Like, I have absolutely zero. The only thing I know about appliances is how to break them. I have, much like Betty's hair, everything she does, like, breaks it. All appliances, I just need to look at them and I can make them break. Dishwashers, garbage disposals, Dyson vacuum cleaners, washing machines, dryers, you name it. I got some kind of weird voodoo of garbage disposals. But you don't have to have any legal knowledge to understand this. So interrogatories were sent out, which is part of what is collectively called discovery. And discovery is basically like, you show me mine, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. I mean, maybe if we're young and single, we'll show them to each other. And the scope of what has been asked for and will be there. This isn't like an optional kind of thing. Now, there is something, I mean, the law always has caveats. I mean, the whole law is built on that. One of the objections to discovery is you can say it's overly burdensome. It's too onerous. Well, I want to show you this. Now, I'm not going to read it. Not all of it. Hell, I don't understand most of it. My husband, who very much is a tech person, I showed him this morning and I said, oh, by the way, that reminds me, my husband, he is contemplating right now, he's weighing his options. He is very seriously considering becoming an interpleader with, he's going to interplead with Queen Bee because he is sick of hearing about Betty and her bullshit. I told you what my husband said when the dog was being a much nuisance in the kitchen the other day. And my husband told him, you better stop or you're going to have to go to Bullhorn Betty's house and she's going to babysit you. Yeah, when I showed this to my husband, I said, oh my God, she's so screwed. She is fucked. When I tell you that I couldn't understand a fraction of this, let's just say that because this is a social media, electronic driven case, there are 12 pages of, this is what's called a production rider. Now, when I hear production rider, I mean, well, back when, back in my day when, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, etc., they would have a rider for their dressing room. Like, okay, when we perform, when we sign on to do a show, we want, oh God, one of them was something so stupid. Like, we must have, galvanized buckets full of M&Ms, but no green ones. Stupid shit like that. This is 12 pages. That, because you don't just like send this shit over. Like, oh, can I just send that in an email attachment? Oh, no, honey. So let's see, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6. Oh, and then we get to, okay, so the first 6 pages are this length, and this deals with, let me just read you the first paragraph. Paginated versions of documents. All documents to be produced will be converted to a paginated version, such as a PDF and or TIFF images, as provided in this section with PDF preferable. Subsection A, produced PDFs will be in the form of one PDF file per document, multi-page as applicable, produced PDFs, close paren. A PDF produced as a paginated document will not be encrypted or otherwise include settings to impair searchability, copying, or printed. Embedded images will not be redacted or below 300 dpi. Subsection B, TIFF images produced as paginated documents will be in the form of single-page tagged item file format images. I don't even know what the hell that is. And it just goes on like that for 6 pages. And then we get to this goodness, because I guess just in case you're like me and you have no effing idea what was just said, and trust me, if you think Betty or her prison jailhouse co-counsel lawyer, who goes by a monogram, if you think that he knows what all this shit is, he does not. I promise you that. Well, we have the appendix. Appendix A, metadata fields to be included in load files. What the hell is that? I don't know what any of that shit is. None. I don't know what any of that is. And if you think Betty will, she will not. So just take a gander at that. We've got 6 pages just like this. Let's just pick one out for shits and giggles. Okay, we've got the field name, parent ID. Then they're kind enough to give you a data example. And then the field description for parent ID. It refers to the main email body that the attachment belongs to. Bates number of first page of parent, only populated for attachments. Come again? Roro Raggy. Velma, go get the van. And don't forget Scooby and Shaggy, whatever you do. We need all of them. Well, here, let's see. The next page. Hell, I can't even remember what the damn columns are supposed to be. Field name. Field name, data example, and field description. Oh, let's go with time received. Then we have an example. Time email was received in the format HH:MM:SS:XM using local time zone provided. If no local time zone is provided, universal time zone is used. What the hell's universal time zone? I mean, is that like Greenwich Mean Time? What? Do you see? Do you see what this wretched bitch is in for? Oh, God, it couldn't happen to a nicer girl. Oh, I do believe we've got some YouTube celebrities named within these documents. Okay, so that kids. What? Who got mom or sued too as she requested? Who else is getting sued? she wants Dolly sued. She wants MGL sued. Has Dolly defected yet? Here. Hold on. I'm looking for a good one. Oh, here we go. This will be fun. Do y'all want to know what, okay, so let's just recap for the class. Velma and Daphne are getting the van. Scooby and Shaggy are waiting out in the parking lot. And I'm just looking for damn, like, who's got the valet key? Do we remember part of discovery is not only the written interrogatories where you need to provide your, written answers, which you type, but, well, then another part of discovery is, well, I think we talked about it about a week ago. A subpoena ducis tecum is telling you you've been summoned somewhere and you've been the ducis tecum. That means bring your shit, bitch. Get your banker boxes and let's go, pumpkin. Bring it, baby. So part of discovery is what they call production of documents and things. Let's see what documents and things that Queen Bee's lawyer has instructed Bullscorn to start getting it together, honey. Request for production 1. All documents and videos identified, mentioned, or referenced in your complaint, or which you consulted, referred to, or relied upon in preparing or developing the same. So, all of it. Request for production number 2. All written statements or communications sent or received concerning this suit or factual assertions in your complaint. And because she is seemingly so dense and couldn't understand, in one of my little packets here, they were kind enough to break it all down. What you and your means, everything. There's a glossary of terms to go with this, just in case you're confused, which, let's face it, you're very confused. Request for production number 3. All written or recorded statements or communications sent or received with any person you refer to in paragraph 18, including subparts of your complaint for the past 3 years. Isn't that going to be fun? Going through all your emails and text messages. Yes. Request for production number 4. So, babe, you should have kept your powder dry, honey. You thought that you and your little prison lawyer, co-ghost counsel, co-counsel, boy, you thought you were dropping the atomic bomb. No, sweetie, you just got the atomic bomb dropped on you. You are this. All of this is showing you for the very low intellect amateur that you are. Hell, you give jailhouse lawyers a bad name. Request for production number 4. And listen, just so everybody's clear, this is not going to be like, you didn't ask me nicely for that. Your professionalism is disgusting. Jonathan, honey, if you're her only hope, well, you better plan on not sleeping for, I don't know, the next few years. Request for production number 4. All documents and things that you were required to identify in or which you consulted, referred to, or relied upon in preparing or developing its responses to discovery propounded on you. Do you know how many times I would need to read that to myself to fully grasp everything it's asking for. Number 5, documents and communications you sent to or received from any witness, expert, or otherwise. Dolly, if you got a burner, you better hide that thing. I got a feeling this could get dicey for a few people. Number 5. Did we do 5? Oh, we did 5. I'm sorry. Number 6. All documents and things on which you intend to rely in this case. So what's she going to do? Just put JLR in a little wagon? She's going to put him in a red flyer wagon. I'm going to say this because it's very important, and I don't think we're not going to get to it. We'll get to it later. We're not going to get it today. We all got lives to live, and I got to eat sometime. Queen Bee's lawyer, well, he has 1 ring-a-dingy, 2 ring-a-dingy. He dialed up. Let's just say the attorney who represented the targets of one of Betty's frivolous bullshit lawsuits. We're not going to say the name. Everybody knows who it is. Well, it was very interesting that I read. Did you know that when Betty had that hearing where she tried to get a restraining order against that person too, another YouTuber? Did you know that she took JLR to court with her? Well, Queen Bee's lawyer knows because he talked to the lawyer that represented him. We're not even at the good part of this yet, kids. So stand by. But I knew that I'm not going to get to that document. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that she took JLR to that hearing with her. Oh, and do we also know, I don't know what Burnt Toast covered because, I was trying to figure out how to work the internet. But boy, this lawyer, he's great with his handy dandy little graph visuals. And, well, what do you know? Betty's lawsuit, her last one that didn't sound like an illiterate idiot wrote it, one who knows what a paragraph is and how to spell and whatnot. Yes, we all agreed her second set of JLR's filings looked much more, like somebody with 20 more IQ points wrote. In fact, I gave him props for his, I said, JLR, I'm sorry for shit talking your prison jailhouse lawyer skills. But my goodness, imagine my surprise when I saw in these documents that Queen Bee's lawyer was kind enough to do a side-by-side. And this last set of documents that Betty miraculously went to, I do believe that I was pretty much in hysterics saying, who knew you could go to law school in 30 days? Because Betty's second set of filings, well, they are word for word the same as JLR's lawsuit against how do we refer to him as? Well, he was the inspiration for the term. It's a hard docs when someone gets a super chat. Yes. They're word for word, except him was replaced with she. Now, my goodness, I'm pretty sure that, that's interesting, isn't it? No, not really. God, I love being vindicated. Not, listen, we all knew. Everybody with any functioning intellect knew that first set of her complaint and the second set of her document dump was, it is kind of Mr. Chips goes to law school, but we all knew. It is so obvious, anybody could see it. Request for production number 7. Oh, here's where it gets good, kids. Number 7, your federal tax returns, including all schedules and estimated taxes for the past 3 years. Number 8, all documents showing or tending to show any form of damage you will claim at disposition of this case. Disposition is who wins. Number 9, provide a complete copy of your data for each social media and video hosting website account you use in the form that those providers supply the data. Then there's a couple more. Number 10. Oh, number 10. Number 10 is the one to watch. What's number 10? A copy of your medical and mental health records for the past 5 years. Oh, bitch, you should have kept your powder dry. Oh, Betty. Oh, Betty, I love that. I mean, I hate it for you. No, not really. I love it for you, and I love it for us even more. Although, listen, I'm going to have to rain a little bit on this parade we're having here. Things like that, at least during the pendency of the case, I would imagine those can probably be sealed, I would think. But not forever. I mean, as much as she would like to think that she's Amber Heard, or which she'd be more like one of the peg legs missing an eye and a limb on opposite sides of the body, of course, on Jack Sparrow's pirate ship. That would be her. Yeah. She'll, we're not going to get to see that kind of goodness, I wouldn't think. Not in the pendency of the case, but let's face it, this is the internet, and my goodness, things have a way of whoops. Yeah, let's do that one again, because my goodness, that seems to be the one that's got the people like, what is that Morbid says? The people's chat. Well, the people seem pretty amused by number 10, so let's do it again for Old Lang Syne. And I did say AULD, because I know somebody who's Scottish thought I said old. And I probably did pronounce it old. Oh, well, this is Betty we're talking about. So let's just say for AULD and OLD, Lang Syne. Here's looking up your old address. Number 10. One more time for posterity's sake. A copy of your medical and mental health records for the past 5 years. My God, that shit will probably look like it'll look like a step and repeat red carpet at Betty's, maybe at her church. God bless you, Betty. God bless you. Yeah, you're going to need some blessings, I think. Get Tyler. You better hit Tyler up. He gives out blessings for Super Chats. You're going to have to give him number 11, a copy of all documents and communications concerning, referring to, or otherwise comprising proceedings. Any civil suits you have filed or had filed against you in the past 5 years. This request seeks documents including, but not limited to, filings with courts, communications with opposing parties, communications with third parties, about any such civil proceedings, settlement agreements, and similar documents. Number 12, a forensically sound image of cellular telephones you have used in the past 3 years. I think that's a legal way of saying burners. Burn, baby, burn. In the alternative, the opportunity to inspect cellular telephone. Oh, and listen, Betty, much like I have voodoo around major appliances around the home, we know that you've got every electronic that comes in your, your force field. Well, you have a way of short circuiting them. I mean, Betty, good God, girl, it's going to take you at least 30 days to find all those phones and tablets your subs have bought you. Oh, that's right, though. She doesn't know how to work them, so I'm sure they won't have anything on them. But, they're a stickler for, yeah. Betty, this ain't YouTube court. I have YouTube court, and I've already pronounced the death penalty on you. So, you're not playing with the dumb kids, okay? You're playing. I have a mallet that I hit a Tibetan song bowl with. You're getting ready to get something that looks very similar going up an orifice. And there will not be any Astroglide included. I love that for you. For a woman who has spread so much misery around. And Betty, pasting some poor family's GoFundMe in your chat, well, that doesn't erase or negate all the horrible shit you've done. And I guess you were absent this day at church, so I'm going to need to school you on this as well. Betty, it's not a good look when you need to run all over and tell people the one good thing you've done. I wouldn't be surprised if that family, I could see her saying something like, well, listen, I'm world famous. All these people, they are haters because I've got this gorgeous blonde hair that everybody wants. I've got a hot man. I've got a successful job. They're just haters. Fuck them. Fuck the haters. And listen, did I mention I'm a world famous YouTuber? Oh, and that's not all. That's not all. I'm not done. I have legal education. All these assholes, like that Crimes and Fashion, fuck that bitch. She's stupid. She doesn't know anything. I have a real legal education. I have knowledge of the law. You do not. I mean, they do not because they're stupid and I am not. So, it would, I don't mind using my worldwide fame and notoriety. I could be persuaded because you are going through such a hard time. I could probably put your GoFundMe link in my chat, but Bill and Betty's we got bills to pay. Okay. These haters, they've done everything they can to take me down. They don't want me on YouTube anymore. They have even found a way to destroy. Every time I take my car on the road, something major goes wrong. Even my car, kind of like I kill all cellular and computer devices, so does my car. You would think it's like the black hole of evil. Just when I don't know what happens. But be that as it may, did I mention that I am world famous YouTuber? Well, what do you mean you've never heard of me? Did you not hear what I said? World famous. World, meaning the whole world. Oh, Sonia, thank you so much for that super chat. God bless you. God bless you, hon. And get headstones and headlines out of here. Get her out. This is Bullhorn Betty's channel. If you don't like me, fuck off. I mean, God bless you. I'll pray for you. It's very simple. If you don't like me, don't watch. Did I mention that I'm world famous? Yes, I could be persuaded to put your link to your GoFundMe, but listen, I've got to eat too. Nobody does something for nothing. I mean, nobody that's like me. So I'm probably going to need, I'd like 10% off the top, but I know you're really having a hard time, so I'll settle for 5%. Well, yes, of course that is gross, not net. No, you pay all the fees. Yeah, no, I keep like, what part of world famous do you not understand? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. God bless you. God bless you. Betty, I think you need to go to Prayer Garden's church. Prayer Garden has church every night. It's all the ugly and illiterate. That's where they hang. I'm sure they'd love to have you as a parishioner. Yes, that's a perfect place for you, Bets. Okay. Let me see. I don't want to go over anything. Oh, remember I told you. Now, remember, Betty was very confused. She wasn't able to file her answers because she didn't know who she was. She didn't know if she was answering as the petitioner or the plaintiff. Was she the counter? Hell, I don't even know who I am after reading all this. I know who I'm not. Thank you. Oh, thank you, baby Jesus. Okay. So Queen Bee's lawyer was kind enough to include this. Oh, look, instructions and definitions. And it's very specific. Let me just read a couple. These definitions and instructions apply to these requests. Number 1, you, your, and yours means Bullhorn Betty, as well as agents, servants. Servants? She calls them mods. We don't use the word servants anymore. That is not PC, okay? Employees, in-house and outside attorneys. Sir, that is UniRock, okay? UniRock is the only person that has in-house legal counsel, okay? God, get your shit together. Did I mention that Betty is world famous? My God, sir, where did you go to law school? I don't think you went to Bullhorn Betty's law school. Oh my God, this bitch. Let's just say it gets real specific here. I almost said Pacific because I've just been talking too much. Oh, in-house and outside attorneys, accountants, consultants, corporate parents. Does that include when you put TM next to your name, even though there's no way, no how in hell until it freezes over that you have a trademark patent pending? Does it include that? Okay, I just want to make sure. Affiliates or subsidiaries. Well, is the coffee club, what do the coffee beans need to? What is Olivia? Is Olivia a side chick? Is she a an employee? I think she's a servant. Olivia, don't carry her bag. Olivia, listen, if you are that hard up for a job, I mean, I'm not gonna drive you all over the country in my car, but if we have to travel for my world famous YouTube duties, sweetie, I will take you to a much nicer hotel. I like hotels that have numbers. It's an even number. It's not a 6 and it's not an 8. I don't stay any place that uses an accent wall the color of baby diarrhea. No. Olivia, girl, you will travel in style with me. But I'm not famous like Betty is. Number 2, we, us, and our means Queen Bee and the agents and others acting on behalf. On behalf. I'm behooved. I would behoove you to behalf yourself. If I see behoove in here, which I didn't, but I'm a big fan of alliteration. So can we forget it? We don't need an amen. We need a behoove. I need a behoove. Betty, it would behoove you to stop being such a wretched bitch. And it goes on in kind. I mean, he defines thing, he defines document, he defines concerning, he defines including, he defines person and persons. He defines, oh God, a whole nother page of terms that, and kids, this is why the law costs so much? Because this is literally what you have to get down to. You have to get down to brass tacks, nitty gritty. And of course, when you're working with a dumb AF person, you've got to do it like just a little extra. And or he has defined identify in two forms. Oh, he even defines the past tense. Okay, so there's that. And then let's see, I'm looking for a small. Oh, now here is something I've never seen before, kids. But I'm not a world famous YouTuber or paralegal. I only worked for a short period of time in the law. This is the first time that I've ever seen an attorney, the opposite. Well, Betty thinks she's co-counsel. So for purposes of this document, we'll go with co-counsel. Betty's been waiting her whole damn life to be recognized as someone's co-counsel. Actually, she would like to be the counsel. Well, Betty, next time I get the Barbie Dream House out, if you want to come on over and I'll pull the Barbie Jeep and the Barbie Vet out, and I'll get Ken to light the grill and throw some hot dogs on. And what kind of, Betty, are you a beer drinker, girl? You look like you're a well, actually no, you look like a boxed wine kind of girl. Sorry, boxed wine. I don't mean to insult you that way, but yeah. Betty, you can play the homeowners association. Well, Betty, look, even in the dream world, in the dream world, you don't exist. You've been banished. But I did say that you could come over. So much like I used to make my little friends, like I always wanted Barbie. I made them have Skipper. I made them take the one with, half the hair had been ripped out, the mismatched clothes. She never even got two of the same matching shoes. It was like, well, she, Cinderella and whatnot, that girl can't find her shoe. Barbie was nice enough to loan her one. Don't hate on her for it. I did tell Betty she could come over. I know I told you could play co-counsel or counsel, but the best I'm going to be able to do is, the Barbie Dream House is the subdivision it's located in. Well, we have a homeowners association. And Betty, girl, now listen, you're too long in the tooth and you're too low in the IQ points for law school. That dream has sailed. That ship has sailed. But I've said more than once that I do believe that there is a condo or homeowners association board looking for you. You, Betty, you are HOA board member. That's for you. That was created for someone like you. Someone who seemingly has no life, has no friends, no one likes. The one, like I used to live in a condo and oh my God, this lady was such a bitch. And she was on the condo board. I had a boyfriend that lived there. And when I'd have a sleepover, well, I didn't have a parking sticker on my car. And there was more than one morning where I would open that door to go to work and this piece of paper would fall at my feet. And I'd be like, what? Oh my God. Suck it. What are you going to do? Told me. That's a job for Betty. Yes, Betty. Betty, there is a condo association in desperate need of your talents. Just think, the Manatee Board of County Commissioners, God, you could give them a break. And look at it this way, Betty. You could put all those lanyards to good use. I mean, we know you love a lanyard. You might even get like a key to hang on it or something. It won't be the key to my heart, but I don't know. Some people don't think I have one. Yeah, this is a new one. I do believe this is the one and only time that I have seen opposing counsel basically do like an affidavit. And oh, you know what? Hold on. This goes with. Should we do? Okay, this one's relatively short, so we'll do this one. We'll do this one, and then I think we'll put a pin in it until. Well, y'all, I had planned on coming in here on Friday. God, it's freaking hot in here. I had planned on coming in here on Friday because I am leaving Sunday for my trip to Newport. And I will be back. When do I come back? I come back the 31st, which is a Thursday. I do not think that I don't think I'll be ready to go the next day, but next weekend for sure. I had planned on coming in tomorrow and going over more of these documents, but it just so happened that I had a client reach out last night at, it was late. It was almost 10 o'clock. And, I told y'all once before, I don't work that much anymore. I have a few people that I work with that I've had for years. She's one of them. She also is the best. And when she calls, I don't give a damn what it is. If I'm able, I go. And she said, "Can you come Friday?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I am going early enough that I probably can come in here tomorrow. I'm not guaranteeing I will, but I think, let me see. Oh, if I do come live tomorrow, it'll be after 2 o'clock, but I might be able to do it. But definitely this weekend. And after, because I'm leaving Sunday, like at the end of the early evening, the end of the day. So definitely over the weekend and possibly tomorrow. But we'll do one more. How about this one? This is the objection to Betty's request for telephonic virtual hearings. Now, my goodness, sir, why are you so mean, Mr. Queen Bee Counsel? Oh, thanks, Grandma Sherry. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I'm not sure which houses I'm going to. Well, I'm going to go to the Breakers, Marble House, I believe. Rosecliff. I wanted to go to Rosecliff. I don't know if Rosecliff is open until October. All right. Oh, fun fact. And I don't know if Burnt Toast went over this one, but Betty wants her protective order. Well, Betty, see, this is what happens when you're not anywhere remotely close to as smart as you think you are. Because, come on. She was worried. If we manage to try every serial killer in courtrooms all across this country, did anybody really believe that, we couldn't protect Betty? Bitch, shut up. So, interestingly enough, I don't know if it's in this document I'm going to read or one of the other 8 million, but Betty's protective order. Well, guess what? That requires an evidentiary. And I can't talk anymore. An evidentiary hearing. Well, guess what? In the state of Illinois, statute does not allow for that to be done telephonically or Zoom or anything like that. You must appear in person. And I love that for you, Betty. So, I mean, there's ways around that, but not around the appearing. There's not, because statute dictates that you must. So if she wants that, she must appear in person. And he wants all these motions handled at one time, which absolutely that is how it should be done, because he knows exactly what she's doing. He's made it crystal clear that this is a pattern with her. She acts in bad faith. She uses the justice system as a way to silence her critics because she's a bitch. With you know what, Betty? You know why Betty made that shitty community post yesterday about people in the community who, without being asked, wanted to help another person in the community? Betty lives a life of deficit. She doesn't have enough love, probably for herself, for anybody else. She doesn't have happiness. She doesn't seem to have friends. She just latches on to people that, if I had to guess, it would be because she thinks they can further her in some way. It's the old, what can you do for me? I don't think Betty gives a shit about anybody, not even Betty. Look at her. So when you live a life of deficit, you don't want to see. You can't, she probably truly can't understand why anybody would do anything, because I don't think she does anything out of just to do something nice. She is a miserable, wretched, hateful, vindictive, spiteful bitch. And you better make friends with being alone, because there's, beauty is only skin deep. Yeah, I know. You might not think that I got that message, but trust me, I got that message a long time ago. Some people's gift wrap, which is just all this shit, some people's gift wrap is nicer than others, but if you're black inside and rotted inside, it doesn't matter what any of this shit is. And my husband's got an expression that he uses all the time, and that is this: there's an ass for every seat. He also uses, for every fill in the blank person, there's a matching fill in the blank person. So, but Betty, most men, men are simple creatures, okay? They're not as hard to understand and figure out as we are. Most men, well, let's just say that there's all kinds of unattractive women that have very happy marriages, and vice versa. But I don't know too many men that will put up with a wretched, hateful bitch who also, let's just say, has other things going against her as well. So I totally understand why Betty can't understand how or why anyone would want to do something just for the sake of doing it. And more importantly, you don't need to go around telling everybody, screaming at them about all the good deeds you do. Betty's not ever gotten the message that if you've done anything right in your adult life, there comes a point, whether it's, way back when you were a kid, or it took you a little longer, whatever the case may be. But that message is this: it really does feel better to give than it does to receive. And it's about, if you're normal, I don't need to explain that statement. And I can't explain it. If you don't feel it, I can't explain it. And you are angry, you're hostile, you're hateful. Betty, I'm a decade older than you. And I don't give a damn what your circumstances are in life. To have to go through life alone, I don't care if you have, and trust me, being broken alone really sucks. But it doesn't matter how much money you have or stuff. If you're alone, you're alone. And life is very hard. Life is hard for everybody. Life will throw its best at you, and it will throw its worst at you, and you never know when it's coming. And there's lots of things money can't buy. And trust me, you still got, I can only come from my experience. And I tell you what, I thank God every day that I'm not alone. And it's not just not alone, but that I know, like my husband, that is my ride or die. And I am his. And I tell you what, Betty, I can say with confidence, not just marriage, but life. You can't always have the last word. You can't always be right. And by the looks of you, you've spent a lifetime being angry as hell and bitter, and it shows. And I mean, I really do, like, I try and find compassion for her, but God, she makes it so hard. She really does, because she's so nasty and she's so shitty. And I'm not her therapist. I mean, I come from like everybody, I use my own life experience. And when I was very young, there are some things Betty does that I can identify with. Like, I used to love to argue, and I needed to have the last word. Do you know what I can't even, I wish somebody could make her understand how much nicer life is when you can lay that down. It really is. And my husband is very much the same way. So this is the honest to God's truth. I can tell you that I would say maybe 1 to 2 times a year, we will have words that, like, we'll raise our voices. And it's usually something dumb that starts it. But it's funny because there are just so many times when, like, me 25 years ago, like, no, I needed to have, like, just so many things. It's just shut your mouth. You don't have to, like, not everything needs to be a fight. You can't always be right. Or in your case, you can't always be not right. Well, she thinks she's always right. But there you go. That's just the kindler, gentler Lisa, like the fortune cookie. You know, that's my Chinese restaurant fortune cookie advice. Let's see, which one is this? Objection to request. Oh, yes, yes. Bullhorn Betty's sole basis to avoid appearing at this court where she sued Queen Bee is cost. The request should be denied. In major part, it should be denied because it would deny Queen Bee the right to cross-examine Bullhorn Betty at an evidentiary hearing on Bullhorn Betty's motion for protective order. Hello to anybody who came in while I've been talking. I'm sorry. Y'all know I'm not good at, especially when I'm like, you know, trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. It's embarrassing to lose your thought like boop midstream. So this one, I definitely have not been paying attention to the chat. So I'm sorry. Did somebody tell me, did Burnt Toast go over this? Because if she did, I don't need to go over it. So just somebody tell, this is called objection to request for telephonic / virtual hearings. I can't even talk anymore. So somebody who was at Burnt Toast, just let me know, please. Now I am looking at the chat. Oh, you know what? Still in leather. That is a great point. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. That is true. That is very true. Well, I saw somebody said she lights up. Yeah, God bless him. He's got the longest fuse in the world. Does anybody I'm just sitting here like oh God, damn. My neck is so, like, my neck muscles are so, oh, they are so tight that it'll actually start like hurting down here into my chest. Okay, so Liza, were you in Burnt Toast? I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going over something that half of you have already seen and heard. You know what? My aunt is alone after she's been married several times, and now she's in her late 70s now, and despite living in a retirement place that, oh my God, I'm sure most of you have heard of a place in Florida called The Villages. It's like geriatric gigolos. At one time, they had the highest STD rate. I want to say it was in the country, definitely in the state of Florida. Well, Running Bear, my husband would probably at least buy you a gift card to a nice restaurant if you would. Oh, God. My aunt doesn't live in the Villages. The Villages is like, it's a retirement community. And there's actually a documentary on, I think it's on Amazon. What the hell's it called? It's hilarious. These people are basically you have to be at least, is it 55? I think you have to be at least 55 to live there. And it's a giant, do you know what a Del Webb community is? Here in Florida, Del Webb. Oh, actually, you know what? Las Vegas has Del Webb communities as well. Usually Del Webb communities are built around golf courses, and they very much cater to, well, we have several Del Webb old people places, but it's 55 and up, and it's like a huge planned community with different neighborhoods within the communities. And GMA AF, well, there you go. Whatever works. But then within the, the community, you've got everything from the lowest price point, which is usually like, a duplex kind of situation, but they're nice. All the way up to, the ballers with the $1 million plus homes. Although now with the prices of real estate in Florida, the duplexes are probably $1 million. But anyway, there is a documentary. They are like the men. Holy shit. Listen, just because dudes get old, play is going to play. I mean, and it's so gross. I don't know why we think that because people get old that they don't do what they do when they're young. They do. They're just old doing it. But it's funny because my aunt lives in a place like that, and very small though, nothing like that place in scope. And of course, the women far outnumber the men. And let me tell you something, the women, they get, just because they're old doesn't mean they're not petty bitches. And when there's like, I swear to you, where she lives, there's just a handful of men. And better believe when one of their wives or girlfriends kicks it, they are having like, the women are, friendships fracture because this one's like, I baked him up. I had him over for some banana bread and needlepoint. Some of the stories, it's just like, what? It's like you go from, you start off in, I don't even know how to, it's kind of like you're a child, you're an adult, and then when you're really old, you seem to go all the way back to the beginning, to being a child. Woo. Okay, Pumpkin. The dog's like, Mom, because remember I had my little, we had our 1 hour snafu time delay, technical difficulties, and I didn't take the dog out in between. Oh God, y'all, my chest is really hurting. I can't. Sorry, Betty, you wish. That's not what it is. It's from my neck. Betty, I plan on hanging around. Well, God willing. God bless. Betty, can I get an amen? Could you give me a God bless me? Because I think I need some. Oh, God. I'm like Fred Sanford. Elizabeth! Oh God. I hope you guys didn't hear that. My whole neck just went horrible. I will try and come in here tomorrow. You guys, I am not at all prepared to go out of town. I haven't done laundry. I haven't packed one thing, but I can pack pretty quick because I'm not taking I don't plan on taking a bunch of foo-foo fancy clothes. I think it might rain. I don't know. I've seen two wildly different, oh God, I'm so sorry. I've seen two wildly different forecasts. My girlfriend sent me last week, she sent me something from the Weather Channel that said 40s and raining at least 2 of the 3 nights I'm there. And then I looked last night on one of the apps on my phone, and it looks like 60s and 70s with partly sunny. So I'm fine with either one. But all right, my kid. All right, my beautiful coffee beans. God, I'm so sorry. I am so tired, you guys. And I still have Oh, hell, I've still got 65% of my high noon left. You guys, I very rarely drink. Hey, Deets. That was so funny. I was so flustered. I opened up my fridge in my garage to go get a water. And I saw that high noon and I was like, I'm day drinking. But it's so rare that I ever drink anymore that when I do, it's like, oh, and that's why I don't, because it makes me tired. But I didn't drink enough to be tired. All right, I'm gonna go take my little dog out, and you guys will either see me tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, definitely on Saturday, and I'm not leaving Sunday until the evening, so maybe Sunday as well. So either tomorrow or Saturday, where we will finish going over. And you guys, like, that's only half of it. All right, kids. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who was bearing with my first debacle. Thank you for coming back. And thank you guys always for coming and hanging out. I appreciate you all. And I will see you tomorrow or the next day. Bye.